Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to our pick a card readings. Listen, so I'm going to try to work it out to see how we can do pick a card while we're live and what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Let's see if we can just turn this camera angle a little bit. No, does that not work? I'm on my laptop because apparently you need like a certain I don't know, certain amount of subscribers to actually do a live. I am not there yet, but I'll be there soon if you'd like to subscribe. Okay, so listen, we're gonna do pick a card, right? And I'm thinking I'm actually going to do this from my laptop. I saw this cool thing somebody did. These are the different cards you can pick, right? So instead of putting stones, right? Instead of putting stones, we are going to pick from what catches your eyes. So we have this beautiful holographic one, right? We have the Age of Materials. We have the Iconic and this. So let's get the piles. Let's return these and shuffle them to their respective piles, shall we? And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay the piles down on my laptop. Yes, you guys are going to rock with me through this. Let's put the piles down. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this works. If it works, I'm a genius. If not, I'm not. Okay, so let's see. Let's do this. So I have the piles down. It's a little wonky, but if this works, I'm going to get an actual pretty thing that we can put it down because YouTube only lets me stream from my computer because I don't have 30K subscribers, but you guys can change that. Okay, let's see if we can actually, if you guys can see this. Can you see this? There we go. Ah! This is a disaster. Okay, you guys, let's push this forward. No, let's push this back and let's do the picker cards. All right. So these are the cards. I'm going to do this better next time, but until then, you guys are just going to have to bear with me. Okay. So these are the cards, right? And there's different decks with different meanings, but I want you guys to actually pick from the deck. So we have these beautiful black holographic decks. There's the Witch's Tarot, right? There's your soulmate and bonding cards. And we're doing this on your soulmate, right? What do you need to do to get your soulmate to notice you, right? How to get your soulmate's attention, what you can do. All right, now that we've done that, has everybody picked the card that they want? Has everybody picked the card that they want? Okay, so also if you guys want, you can also do ask a question, but let's just focus on pick a card right now. So if you focused on the classic Wraith, the Wraith deck, right? The card that you need to notice for your soulmate on what's going on with you and your soulmate, we have the Death card. We have the Queen of Materials, if you pick this beautiful green and rose one. We have also from the Witch's Tarot, the Seven of Swords. And we also have the King of Wands. We have the King of Wands from the Holographic Universe one. Very pretty, wouldn't you say? Okay, so let's get into each of which these meant, depending on what deck you picked of. And let me just pick one from each. Take one from the bottom of each deck so you can actually see what we are choosing, right? We're taking one from the bottom of each deck to see what we are actually choosing. All right. So this is from the bottom of the decks. I know it's a little wonky, but bear with me, guys. These are the bottom of the decks, and you're picking from one of these 4 decks. All right. So these are decks. You're picking from one of the 4 bottom decks. Okay. So We don't need those because we're not picking those. Let's get into it, how we're going to do this. Okay, so when it comes to what the message your universe is trying to tell you about your soulmate, there is a couple of things. For those of you who pick the clocks of right depth, you are looking at hold on guys, just got a message. That's my dad. Okay, so here we go. When it comes to what the universe is trying to tell you about your twin flame soulmate connection, the one thing that you might be overlooking if you pick this classic is death. What does that mean when it comes to your twin mate soul? When you look at what it means to have a death in a relationship, it means that there was a fantasy, an ideal, not so much a fantasy, but an ideal, a mantra, something that you put in your mind that you needed to hold on to survive. This could be, only women that are submissive to their men deserve to have a husband. I must go to college to be a good provider because no woman or man is going to love me if I can't contribute financially. Men only like this type of woman, women only like this type of man. Whatever this mantra is that you thought about in your life as to what you needed to do to be worthy of love, you are now finding out that it is bullshit. Why is that bullshit? Because you found out that this mantra that you let own your life, right? It doesn't serve any purpose except to control you, except to make you more anxious, more nervous, more weak, if you will, of being your true, authentic self. What this card is telling you that when it comes to finding your soulmate, your twin flame, or even in strengthening that connection, what you actually need to do is live life without any mantras. Live your life without any preconceived notions. You ever hear that old thing about, listen, you don't need to tell anybody, you don't need anyone to tell you no. You tell no for yourself. You need to literally stop these outdating thinking, these outdating principles of what somebody worthy of love is. Maybe you think you need to be drop dead gorgeous to be worthy of love, super handsome. Maybe you need to be fit and have that body that just won't quit. Maybe you think that you need to not ask so many questions. Maybe you need to be smarter. Whatever it is, there is an idea that you let rule you by consent or decree. Hence, you see this king dead over that no longer serves you. It actually never served you, but now you need to realize that you were letting it rule you. And the king, this idea, is what is holding you back. This is what you need. Once the universe has come and just shown you that these ways of thinking don't serve you, all they do is hold you back, then you will be free to rise up and be your true, authentic self. Because this card is telling you that when it comes to soulmates, you not being your true, authentic self really does become a problem after a while. Because how can you expect anybody to love the true you, the real you, if you feel like either you need to hide the true you or you feel like the true you is just not acceptable to show and it's not lovable? Okay, so this is about being your true, authentic self. If you picked the Rider-Waite, you need to, the classic version, it shows that you need to be classic and true to your authentic self. There is no version of you that is more lovable than others except for the true version of you, right? Except for the true version of you. Next, if you picked these lovable muse cards, right? Very romantic shade with the seeing eye and the roses. What you picked is the Queen of Materials. This is the message the universe wants you to have of you with the Queen of Materials. The Queen of Materials is saying that, yes, the Queen of Materials, if you look, is a very flamboyant energy, almost like a very maternal energy. But the Queen of Materials is saying that if you want to get noticed, if you want to get what you want, if you want to fulfill your needs, you need to learn to be nurturing, protective, not just of yourself, but also the people around you. This is saying that in your quest to make yourself perfect for your soulmate, prepare yourself for the twin flame. Focus on what makes you you. It is saying that when you do this, you have found that there is a tendency that you are not necessarily focusing on the other people in your life, the ways that you can make their lives easier, the ways that you can teach them to be more loving, be more self-confident. It's literally saying that you have a light that needs to shine, but you're only shining it back on yourself. And to truly attract the soulmate or the energy that you want, you need to find a way to spread that light onto others. Who is more lovable? And think about the people in your life that you love. Think about the people in life that you respect. Think about the people in your life that you really want to get close to. They were the people that when they walked into the room, they didn't just talk about themselves. They didn't just make themselves beautiful. It's the friend that's just like, oh, like if you have a good girlfriend, if for the women out there or men, the thing where you're just like, oh, like I like your eyeshadow. Oh, I'll do your eyeshadow for you. I like the way you dress. Oh, come shopping with me. There might be where like, I like the way you do that. I'll teach you how to do that. They were the people that were most interested in people outside of themselves and interested in helping people outside themselves. And that's not to say that you should completely be selfless and forget about yourself, but it is feeling that it is saying that if you did pick the Queen of Materials, this is this green card, right? If you did pick the Queen of Materials, it is saying that you need to start spreading your light to others, being more selfless, more generous, letting other people experience the happiness that you want through you, nurturing, protecting, encouraging, being their cheerleader, basically being the friend and love to others that you wish you could find in someone else, and not being so focused on just preparing ourselves. Again, this is the Queen of Material energy, and that is what you should do to actually pull your soulmate closer to you and manifest that. Now, bringing it back to these four, let's show. We've already gone through the classic. I pulled these from the bottom of the deck. Don't worry, we've already flipped the cards. We have the Witch's Tarot, we have the Muse, and of course, we have the holographic universe, okay? Next up, if you picked from the blue cards, you picked the Seven of Swords. What is the universe telling you about how to draw your soulmate closer? After the pick a card, I will be taking tarot questions. We can actually get the classic Wraith and shuffle, but I'll be taking tarot questions. Next, we have the Queen of Swords. If you pick the Witch's Tarot, it's a beautiful blue card, right? All seeing, all knowing, alchemy. What you need to know with how to get your soulmate connection and how to better suit yourself to find your soulmate is the Queen of Swords. What does this mean? The Queen of Swords means that when it comes to love and relationships, people have been stealing from you, stealing your time, stealing your emotional energy, stealing your effort. You cannot come pure, and when I say pure, I mean whole to the universe, when you are letting people steal your love. Because when you meet your soulmate or twin flame, you will be kind of like a broken version of yourself. Now, what does this mean? This is literally the equivalent of, let's just say I'm like, listen, me and you, we're going to buy a car. You put 10,000 in a bank, I put 10,000 in a bank. At the end of 6 months, we will have 120,000 and we can actually buy a Range Rover. It's not easy. You scrimp, you scrape, you sacrifice. But at the end of the day, 6 months, you have 60,000 in a bank account. You go to the bank and you go to withdraw the money because you're like, we're going to get that Hummer. And at the end of it, you find out that not only did I not donate a penny, but I overdrew the account. I stole your time, your effort, and your sacrifice. It means that currently, you might think that you are dealing with your twin flame, or you might be involved in romantic relationships when you're like, this is not my twin flame, but I don't want to be alone, and this is how I may pass my time. No shade. There's nothing to be embarrassed about or even feel good. We all do these things. We are all human. But it's saying that if you are serious about finding your twin flame, or you're finding your twin flame, but also finding your soulmate, it's saying that what you need to do is you cannot let people steal from you anymore. Anyone that is stealing your time, stealing your emotions, stealing from your body, stealing your karmic energy, and not actually replenishing you and putting it back is not your twin flame. They are not your soulmate. And what's more, even if you know that they are not that person, you cannot pass your time letting them deplete you, because without you putting, they're depleting you so bad that you cannot actually put back and bring yourself a whole person. And you cannot accept your twin flame and attract them when you are letting somebody else extinguish it. Likewise, you cannot absolutely move forward and find your soulmate while you are dealing with people that take from you. Anyone that takes without receiving can never be your twin flame. And this is what we need to realize. Next up, we have the King of Wand energy. If you picked the holographic card, I love these cards. What is the King of Wand energy? What message can the universe tell you from the King of Wand energy? The King of Wand energy is a leader. He is the king, but if you look, he is actually very strong. He is able to lead and follow at the same time. He is literally ready to teach the people he is leading the same way he will actually follow the people he leads. What does this mean? This means that yes, you are a force to be reckoned with, but when it comes to either navigating your relationship with your soulmate or twin flame, or attracting your soulmate or twin flame, the thing you need to do is to learn to be more flexible. You may have great instincts and you may be right 90% of the time, right? Or you may be wrong 90% of the time. But everybody is right at least twice a day, like a broken clock. This is saying that when it comes to your romantic relationships, you are not being egalitarian with the way that you deal with the people in your life and the way you deal with the people in your heart. You cannot expect to be able to put well, you can expect whatever you want. I don't want to say that, but if you want to speed up finding your soulmate, or if you want to heal the connection that has been broken with your soulmate, you want to try to be a little bit more agreeable. You want to try to be more accommodating. You want to try to be a little bit more flexible. Now, that does not mean that you disrespect yourself. It doesn't mean that you do things that you feel uncomfortable with your personal boundaries. But it means that, say Chinese food is not your favorite food. It is one of my favorites. But let's just say your partner or your soulmate, little silly example, loves Chinese food and you don't. It means that when your soulmate actually says, what do you want for dinner? And you know that you can maybe, you don't like Chinese, but you don't hate it either. And you want Greek and they hate Greek. It means that you can be a little flexible and show your love by saying, you know what? I know Chinese isn't my favorite, but it's going to make them happy. So why don't I just do Chinese? It's no skin off my back. It's not going to hurt me at all. We eat what we want all the time, but let me do what I can to be a little bit more flexible to show them that I love and I care. Even if you are not with your soulmate, putting this energy out in the world is going to attract the mate you want, because at the end of the day, your soulmate is also going to want to please you, to be flexible. Again, not sacrificing your boundaries, but literally teaching you to be flexible with your soulmate. You become the mate you want to be, and there in turn, you will attract that person. Alrighty. So there we have our daily pick a card. Next up, what do we want to do? Next up, we are going to have a little bit of classic tarot card. Let's put these cards back and let's get to work on our classic tarot card reading. Does anybody have a question they'd like to ask for their classic tarot card reading? Any questions that you guys would like to ask for your classic tarot card reading? Ask now or forever hold your peace. All right, let's do a shuffle then, since nobody has any questions. Let's see what's in the card for Libra. Let's see what is in the cards for Libra. All righty. Let's see what's in the cards for Libras. actually, I'm going to stop this live stream and I'm going to come back with our classic tarot. So if you are watching, I'm logging off now and I'm going to start a new live stream for classic tarot where you can ask a question. All right, everybody, let's end the stream and I'll see you on my next live stream in a few minutes.